Good morning, Govan. What can you tell us about exactly what happened?
Well, Sally, there was a cadres forum organized by the ANC Youth League happening at the Temba Stadium that's right behind me, and the meeting was happening inside the stadium grounds and was called as the national task team of the ANC Youth League prepares to take the ANC Youth League towards its national conference. So this cadres forum, crucially important, particularly in the Tshwane region, in not only ironing out the differences within the ANC Youth League in the city, but also preparing at least this region to go to the national conference. But then in the afternoon, a scuffle broke out, as the police say it, and we've spoken to some security guards and some neighbors who describe the scuffle essentially moving out of this gate behind me and spilling over into this road, and then moving over to this side of the road. And this is the area where the neighbors describe the fight taking place, and the person that was eventually shot and killed died on the spot where you could see the rocks being piled up. Essentially, that was put there to cover the blood. And at this stage, we know that the ANC Youth League Tshwane chairperson, Lesego Makubela, says that they believe the person who shot the ANC Youth League member was not a member of the ANC Youth League, but the identities of the deceased or the shooter haven't been released. Of course, the police calling for people with information to come forward. And then, Sally, the neighbors described that after the shooting happened, at about 2 shots going off, the person who had shot the gun then started to move down the street towards a car wash, which is just on the corner. And once there, he is said to have fired another 2 warning shots before running off. So it's on that basis that some members of the ANC Youth League claim they know who the shooter is, but as I said, as yet there haven't been any arrests made, and the neighbors at these homes just opposite the stadium say that they weren't able to spot who it was, but definitely heard the gunshots yesterday afternoon.
Govan, any clues at all at this stage as to what possible motive there might be? Could it be something as a beef between 2 people, or are we looking at possible sort of serious political ramifications here?
Well, that's what the police are investigating, and the ANC Youth League in Tshwane have been quick to squash any assertion that it may have been related to political violence by saying that they believe the shooter was not a member of the ANC Youth League. But one can't ignore the fact that this scuffle emanated from within the cadres forum here at the Temba Stadium in Hammanskraal, and it does seem to have a political tinge to it. Of course, the facts in the killing and the actual fight have not yet been established and are being investigated by the police, but this isn't the first time that an ANC member has died in Tshwane during a meeting. Remember that ANC meeting at the showgrounds last year where a fight also broke out and one person ended up being killed at a shooting. But since then, there has been footage released of what appears to be the fight that started inside of the hall here at the Temba Stadium in Hammanskraal, and it appears that ANC Youth League members started throwing chairs and tables at each other, and it turned into a brawl within the venue, which then made its way outside. And once outside, some members of the ANC Youth League claim that's when the scuffle, the brawl, was infiltrated or joined by ordinary members of the community. So right now they're still speculating as to whether or not this has been a political killing, but we can't ignore the fact that it happened during a political event.
And certainly it seems it started inside the scuffle. What does that say about discipline issues within the ANC Youth League, which is absolutely trying to find its way and figure out its identity at this time?
Yeah, the ANC Youth League has been plagued by disunity and tension, not only within its national leadership, but in the provinces and certainly within the regions. Remember that before the National Executive Committee of the ANC took a decision to disband the leadership and appoint the National Task Team, there was a growing lobby from within the ANC Youth League, particularly the Eastern Cape, Gauteng provinces, that were calling for the disbandment of the leadership and for a National Task Team to take it towards the conference. But there was some resistance as well by other members of the ANC Youth League. So this appears to be a fight for the future of the ANC Youth League, in which dominant faction would take over the league once that national task team takes it to its national conference. Of course, the leadership of the ANC Youth League, having been disbanded, is currently leaderless, but you do have pockets of power which exist within the provinces in the form of regional chairpersons and secretaries that still hold significant influence among the members of the ANC Youth League and would-be delegates to a national conference. So the league itself is in tatters, some would say, others would say it's in the process of rebuilding itself, but yesterday's incident and the catastrophic cadres forum which led to another death would certainly dent the efforts of that national task team to bring the league together and take it towards a national conference.
Thank you very much. That's Govan Whittles, our reporter in Hammanskraal, after the killing yesterday of an ANC Youth League member.